I think I'm live. It has been a while since I've been on camera and live. Of course, you guys probably already know I have live charts going 24/7 at this point. I think I figured it out, so those charts are always up. But, anyways, I am a little nervous. This feels awkward. So awkward. I didn't tell anyone I was doing this. I didn't post it anywhere, didn't tell Discord or anything like that. I just wanted to get into it, get it started. So much prep goes into just starting the stream, especially when you haven't been doing it consistently, that it feels so awkward. So awkward. So getting back in the flow of things, pretty excited about it. This is the After Hours show. And this is where we're going to talk stocks, do some TA, some recaps, and whatever else we want. And at the end of this stream, I'm going to kick it on over, no pun intended, to kick. And that I'm starting from ground zero, 0 subscribers over there. And if you want to go over there and see kind of the after show where I'll do some things I can't do on YouTube or talk about things that might get me demonetized or whatever, that's what I'll be doing over on Kick. So it's going to be a little bit more of an adult stream, have some more fun over there. And I'm excited to diversify a little bit because I've been getting hit by YouTube and it's been a little frustrating. I'll get into that story in a little bit, probably to close out this stream. And I'll probably clip it too, so if you tune in and out, don't worry, I'll clip that part. But yeah, it's been a struggle. So I am just hanging on in there. And normally I wouldn't be I feel kind of informal, but also it doesn't really matter. Overthinking it, but I don't want to be sweating. So it's actually not too bad outside right now. Obviously I'm in a building, but it is not fully heated and AC'd, if you know what I mean. So yeah, right now we're just looking at SPY, and I figured we'll do some technical analysis. And if I hold still too long, I disappear. I probably could turn that off, but I guess it's part of the fun. So yeah, pretty excited about that. Hope you guys all had a great week. And the market has been crazy. Let's just take a look over here. And right now, I don't know how much you guys care, but I'm doing like extended mirror. So I'm like using my laptop as a second monitor, and it's a little tricky. So hopefully it all works out well. I did get a new camera since the last live streams. Before I was using my laptop one. I feel like this one's a little bit better, and it's I can be further out with it, and should be fun for a lot of other stuff. Eventually, we're gonna be launching a podcast, I believe. That'll be fun too, but that might be on another channel. Again, just diversifying. And I guess it wouldn't be quite the launch. It's something we created a long time ago. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. So here is SPY, and over here, you guys, I have Apple, Microsoft. You can't quite see it all. Amazon, Palantir. And if you guys want to see anything specific, just let me know. I am happy to throw it up on the screen. And also over down here, typically I have Bitcoin, but I think I accidentally clicked out of it. Bitcoin has been interesting. It hit some recent highs too. If you guys don't follow crypto, it recently hit 123. Now it's at 115. So people are profit taking right now, and it is at support. We'll see how far it goes down. But it has been fun, man. I've been trading Bitcoin since 2017 or early 2018, something like that. So it's been a ride. But let's zoom on out here and take a look just at SPY. And we can kind of do a technical analysis. I'll adjust these lines. 1 second. All right, sorry, I had to clear my throat. But yeah, I will adjust this out, and I'm gone. Actually, does this work? It's creepy, real creepy. All right, let's do this. Diving on in. And next week, I'm going to do this more consistent. I'm going to get better at, notifying people. I could do that now, but again, I just want to get going. Whoever shows up, I appreciate you. Thank you. I know this won't get pushed out to a lot of people because with YouTube, consistency is truly key. So I won't be surprised. Not at all. And also having 2 live streams going at the same time, I don't know how much they really compete for each other's, business, if you will. So since I do have a 24/7 stream going at the same time, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that thumbnail got you guys in here. But right now we are doing some TA if you're just tuning in, and we are going to stream here on YouTube for the next, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes or so, and then we will kick it on over to kick. I should probably stop saying that. It sounds so stupid. But my link is down below in there if you want to hang out for a little bit more adult time. If not, no pressure. But one of you guys will be the first subscriber over there. So someone's always got to be first. I remember when this channel had 0. And look at me now, cruising along. So anyways, I'm distracting myself. So let's draw out this bottom trend line. Now when I drew these out, it was before we broke support here, and we're actually just, coming right back on in. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, doubt in the market, FUD. You might have or might not have seen or heard that term before, but you'll hear it eventually, FUD. That's what that is, and that's what causes panic selling and a lot of things like that. But if you were patient and you bought that dip, man, it was an easy ride to the upside. And I was holding some good positions. I took profit and got stopped out of most of those for the short-term trades. But it was nice ride. So we'll see what happens from here. But once we're in those uncharted territories like we are now, it does get a little tricky. So let's just draw this trend out. But my point is technical analysis is so amazing. Even these lines that I drew months ago, and with the market crashing and coming back up, it still, kind of falls right back in line with that analysis. All right, what is going on here? Feels real quiet. I feel like I need some music or something. I don't know, you guys. I could probably put this mic down too. I should get a stand, but I think it might be a little bit too quiet, and I don't want to yell. So I'm just going to hold it for now. And luckily, I don't need 2 hands to move a mouse. So let's just draw this out. Let's go as far as October and extend this upside too. Bring it down a little bit. Like that. And I'm going to try to be realistic here, so be a little bit more conservative with it. And you can see we've kind of gone above this trend a couple times already, but I don't think we're going to have too much explosive growth in the next few months. We'll see. You never know. But I think this was a huge move, and the odds of it just continuing at this trend, very unlikely. So what will most likely happen is we'll probably, come around and eventually come up to 650, come back down. But we shall see. It's all going to rely on what happens in the news, unfortunately. I'm just going to delete these alerts. I will finish this analysis off and set some new alerts. Okay, so again, we are looking at the daily. And you can see this was the previous all-time high. Brand new one today. Just going to move this on over here. I'm going to delete these old trend lines, although they're still relevant. We can always redraw them, but that's where you'd expect support. Maybe I'll leave one of them. Leave one for shits and gigs. All right. Yeah, we'll just leave that previous all-time high, because likely if we pull back, it's going to bounce off that. It's going to be a definite key level. And you can kind of see where we're headed. Not to say we won't break below or above it, but this is that channel I would watch for. That slow grind. And it will probably come up, hit 630. We're so close. So we'll probably hit that soon. Maybe pull back to 628 or so before we hit 630. We'll see. Today was boring though. Before we look too much into this, look at today. If you got caught in this chop today, I'm sorry. This is rough price action. I actually did not take any options trade, and I only took a couple futures trades. It just wasn't even worth it. This is just horrible. Like 2 decent moves all day. That first break of support in the morning, and then again around lunchtime, which was unexpected because usually volume slows here. But of course, people just decided to take their profit or whatever right around lunchtime, and then as expected, pretty choppy. I was in the live chat today. I'm usually in there, in and out throughout the day. If you guys want to pop in and ask questions there, I'm pretty much always available, or I'll see the chat and get to the question eventually. The cool thing about the 24/7 live stream is now anytime you leave a chat, I'll see it. Excuse me. As opposed to when I end the stream every day, those chats just kind of go away, and then some questions would get missed or whatever. So that is kind of neat. We'll see how long we can go. That live stream's been going for a week now, I believe. And I haven't promoted it all. I've just kind of left it up there to see what it organically does. Maybe I'll put a little bit more efforts next week and try to push it out. We'll see. Because it is very helpful when you're trading, or if you can't be home, just to have all these charts. You actually can't even see the whole screen right here because the way my stream's set up. But if you're on the live stream, what you're looking at. There's lots to see, lots of good things to take away from without having to spend too much time diving in and typing in each ticker by ticker while you're on your phone or whatever you're doing. This way, you can kind of get a good pulse on the market in just a quick glance. So that is why I decided to do that live stream, so that I could personally go and check the stocks when I'm not at the screen. And I decided it would be cool for everyone to see it. So hopefully some of you guys take advantage of that. And I've met a lot of cool people that way too. So shout out to all you guys gals that have found the channel through that live stream. That compared to like me posting a video, the live streams don't get as much reach. I don't know if that will change if I live stream more often. We shall see. But like when I post normal videos, those just have far greater reach. I don't know why, but and again, I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, but I have been battling with YouTube recently with their regulations or whatever you want to call it. So we'll get into that before we end the stream. But first, let's finish off this analysis. So looking at the daily, what a beast, man. And let's just go back to COVID for a second, just so you guys can see how gnarly that sell-off was. Now that was from 305 to 203. To put that into perspective, disappeared. We just pulled back from 615 all the way to 485. Crazy. Percentage-wise, a smaller drop. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure smaller drop percentage-wise. But I mean, dollar-wise, that was like $130 compared to $100. So it is crazy to see how far SPY has come. It feels like yesterday we were in the 3s and 4s. And new highs today. Pretty wild. So if we break support here, I would watch these moving averages. These are going to be some very key levels. It is no coincidence, man. The more time you spend doing technical analysis, the less surprised you are when you see these moves happen. And one thing to point out is gaps. Thursdays are gap days. If you guys have been around in Discord, you already know. Thursdays are the gap fill days. We've played those so many times, had such great success with it. Not always guaranteed, but I believe like 65% of the time gaps fill on a Thursday. If there's a gap up or down overnight. But I'll dive into that another time. If you have questions, let me know about that. But it's pretty self-explanatory. But you can see gap right here. It's why I was talking about it back on June 23rd to 24th. We had that gap up. So if we do come back and start selling off and we don't bounce off that previous all-time high at 609, I would expect this gap to fill pretty fast. So, just watch for a decent move, decent $4 move or so. Is what you'd expect on that day, and even bigger right here. And the reason you see those kind of extreme movements is because there's been less price action at that point. So there's not as many orders, there's not as many people holding the stock or the ETF, whatever it is, at that price point. So, you break through those support levels much easier. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyways, watch for those pullbacks to the 2150 and 200. 200 is going to be obviously at the strongest. I feel like maybe I'm not moving enough. 200 is going to be the strongest, 50, medium, and 21 obviously a little bit weaker, but you can see 21 at 617, 50 at 601, and 200 at 575. And if you guys don't use these or you're new to trading, sorry, I'm just talking a little too fast here. Then I highly recommend to use them. You can also throw on a MACD and RSI, or a TTM squeeze indicator is very similar to the MACD. It's all kind of preference. I've gone back and forth on what I like to use, so I think it's probably good just to keep your brain active and switch things up. Once you get used to something, it is nice to kind of test the other indicators just to get a feel for them, and then go back to what you like and yada yada. There's so many ways to make money in the market. It is insane. And if you look at the RSI right here on the daily, well, we're pretty overbought right now. Now 70 is usually the overbought zone. That's where you'll typically see a pullback. 30 is oversold, and that's where you're going to see a bounce. Now back here, when I said we had that great buy-in opportunity, we were way oversold. I was so confident in taking positions here because, the odds of you continuing to sell off at that point are much lower. Of course, anything can happen, but this is all about making the odds more in your favor, right? That's why this isn't gambling, because there are ways to what's the word I'm looking for? I was gonna say slighten your edge, but that sounds dumb. I don't even know. I don't know what that means. But there are ways to sharpen your edge. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so use those indicators if you haven't before. Highly recommend them, and there are tons. I mean, again, if you're new to trading, you're gonna get easily overwhelmed trying to look at them all. So just start with some simple stuff like this, and add the average. EMA stands for exponential moving average. So I would recommend the EMA over just the moving average. You get a little bit, more precise action is what I found. And yeah, so let's go on back here and take a look at another stock. So one thing I have been trading, and I don't see it on this list actually, SoFi was pretty interesting. I took a trade with them yesterday, and I was so close to holding overnight, and I decided not to. I'm so glad I did. What's up, Trin and Nick? Yes, I do still trade futures. And thoughts on Webull going in next week? Wait. You mean like the ticker Webull? Well, we can take a look at that. But yes, I definitely still trade futures. I actually have it up right here. Took a couple small trades today, and I'm still using Top Step right now. I reset my combine, and currently I am up $400 on it. So going strong. I've been trading MES mostly, keeping it very conservative between 1 and 5 contracts, and just taking base hits. And here's actually a look. Market just closed. Here's a look at some of my stats right now. Win percentage 81%, so I'm really happy about that. But these are small trades. But again, taking these MES versus ES, it has been way less stressful. When I do have a pullback, it's only like $20-$30, and it's super easy to come out of. And at that point, I can even average out much easier, as opposed to trading ES, where every move is $12 instead of $1.25 or whatever it is, something like that. So yeah, been taking it nice and slow on the futures, but I'm having fun with it, and I'm excited about the results right now. Yeah, let's take a look at Bull though. That's funny. I wanted to look at them earlier, so I'm glad you brought it up, because Hood has been going crazy. So I thought there might be some sympathy runs. Jeez, I really should have looked at him. I was thinking about him midday at 17. Actually, let's take a look at him over here. Oh yeah, I remember when they squeezed. That happened fast. Let's look at the 4 hour. So it looks like next level resistance 1885. I'm not sure what is causing this. I don't know if there was news or not. Up 20% though. That is good. Are you holding just stocks? Trying to see if that's Yeah, if you're holding just stocks, maybe set a stop loss or just take profit. It's hard to tell. I mean, you could see a gap up over the weekend, maybe to 1850 or so. But you up 20% is, grateful for green. But FOMO is real. Maybe something I would do, depending on how many shares, is just lock in a certain portion of them. If you have enough to lock in to the point where all you're holding is pure profit, then it's definitely a much less risky situation and way easier to ride out that squeeze like that. I mean, if we were to see a move back up toward 40, it would be pretty crazy. I wonder what the options book's looking like on here. Maybe monthlies. 1250, 4,000 on the calls for 20. I mean, I could see it hitting 20 in a month, but depending on how risky you want to be. Crypto bill, the crypto bill, right? That's why everything was kind of moving. I guess that makes sense because they do have a separate app for their crypto. At first, they had it integrated, and then for whatever reason, they created a second one. But I haven't used them for crypto since it was integrated, and I found I didn't like the spreads that I was getting because at the time I was day trading Dogecoin when it was moving a lot, and I was comparing it back and forth with Robinhood, and the spreads on Robinhood were so much smaller that I could easily make like 10 to 20% more profit just by using Robinhood at the time. And so that's when I kind of stopped using Webull for crypto. And then even since then, I don't use Robinhood for crypto. I just use crypto.com is where I hold most of my stuff. I have some in Cash App. What else? I've used so many of them, but I got in and out of a lot of those different ones just to kind of consolidate it all because I was, at one point I had a spread like in 5, 10 different accounts, and I was like, all right, this is getting out of hand. I'm going to forget passwords. Um, Also have some options. Yeah. I mean, that's the safest bet, but you never know. It could keep running. Maybe we can do a versus hood. Well, that's not very helpful. Let's try it this way. Gosh, hood has been crazy. I mean, that's all-time highs, right? Gotta be. Oh, yeah. Jeez. I remember when hood started squeezing. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, 85. I was going to say, I thought it was much higher. 85 when it came out. I remember that day. It feels like yesterday. Man, time flies. But yeah, it would be pretty cool to see something similar happen now. I mean, it did kind of already happen with Bull, so holding shares versus options a little bit safer. But how risky do you want to be? It could be on a nice run, but I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back a little bit in the overall market after hitting new highs. But we will see. The market never ceases to amaze me. If you're just gonna hold shares, depending on your timeline, it wouldn't be bad to just take profit and then ride it out with a little bit. If it pulls back, you can buy more. But again, it just depends on your timeline, really. When do you need that cash, or are you willing to hold it and maybe it squeezes again? We'll see. No guarantees, but it's got potential. As what they say, spikeability. Shout out to Tim Sykes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. I don't even know if I'm not sure how relevant he really is in stocks anymore. I don't know if he even trades, but when I started trading, it was penny stocks, and he was like the big penny stock guy. So I got all of his stuff. My dad got it all and then let me have it. And it's like thousands of dollars of training. And man, I'm glad I don't trade penny stocks anymore, though. Yeah, I mean, what I would personally do is I would lock in profit, at least half of it, if not enough to make it so it's pure profit. Because that's such a great feeling when you're just holding pure profit and you just, it doesn't matter what happens. You already made your money. Hopefully you make more, but worst case scenario, you're still walking away green. That's the best move. Maybe put in like a stop loss take profit order. Depending on how active you are at trading, you could do that. But if you're watching it every day, you could just set alerts. It doesn't matter too much. But it is easy to forget, shares. I've been there before where I wasn't active enough when I first started trading and accounts would just bleed dry because you forget you're holding stuff. So frustrating. But yeah, Webull is really setting up. I'm glad we are looking at it right now because this will be interesting heading into next week. Coming up on that resistance right here at 18. And I'll probably set some alerts on here personally. What is that, 19? 1885. So I want to see if we can break above, I guess, 1740 is when I'll start to get a little bit more interested. If I was already up right now, hey, that'd be great, but I'm not trying to chase it. So look for the move above there. And if we start pulling back in the 15s, I don't know. I think I've maybe traded Webull once. I'm not even positive, which is crazy because it's my favorite platform. You would think I would have traded the ticker, but I just haven't. Just hasn't been too appealing. I think I remember when it IPO'd, but I don't think I caught the big move, so it wasn't worth chasing. But I do love the product. Not gonna lie, I've always been a big advocate of it. I mean, I've used Webull since 2018, so. Appreciate it, Nick. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, this is the first after hours show. Many more to come, and I'm gonna be live streaming during the market hours too at some point. Probably, I would imagine probably for Power Hour, maybe a little bit sooner, like at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Um, and then yeah, moving over to Kick after this, going for that a little bit of more uncensored content I can't do on YouTube, which does lead me into, well, first let's set some alerts on here, but leads me into what I wanted to tell you guys. Man, I've been fighting with YouTube. It sucks. I love YouTube. I've posted on here for years. Um, Sorry, trying to think and type at the same time. But the problem is they randomly started attacking my videos that I've posted up, saying that it was like spam or harmful content, when all I've ever done is be completely transparent, share all my trades. I've said I'm not a financial advisor in every video. It's in the comments or in the description. And so many of my videos they've attacked, taken down, and I've appealed, and I've won probably 50 to 60% of them. Even my highest viewed video they came after. Luckily, I won that appeal, but it's just so frustrating when my whole shtick or whatever is being transparent and trying to help people learn how to trade, or even if you already know how to trade, just creating a community for people that are like-minded. And it's so frustrating. So I was finally monetized, finally able to start members, finally able to do all that, and it was so exciting. Finally able to make money from the videos, which is what a concept after posting hundreds of videos. And then before I even get the first check, I got hit by it. And then at first it was a couple videos, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. And the next thing you know, they just came after so many. and then they took like a week off, and then they hit a couple more, and I was emailing with someone trying to figure out if we can get it reversed. Long story short, I have to wait until September 8th to even reapply to be monetized. And what sucks about that is everyone that was already a member, it just doesn't remember you or whatever, resubscribe you. So you just lose your members, you lose everything, have to start over. And it's like, wow, I put so much effort into one platform. So that sucks when that happens. So that's why I'm diversifying a little bit more, and I'm going to start streaming on Kick and maybe other places eventually. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just going to be, also on top of that, I'm going to make a disclaimer video to put in front of all my videos. So, in the future, when I drop those challenge videos or training videos or whatever they might be, feel free to skip ahead the beginning if you don't want to see the disclaimer. Because it will be there. Hopefully that helps stop the assault on my channel, because it has been so frustrating. And you try to get answers, and they say that they expect their creators to know the answers, but I am just baffled. So it is frustrating, but it is what it is. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to re-release a bunch of old videos with that disclaimer in front of them on top of the videos that they've taken down, because there's such good content in there. It is just frustrating to just throw away that hard work that I put into everything. So, if you see old uploads or you're like, this looks familiar, I think I've seen this before, you might have. And I will start, pushing those out on like a daily basis until I get them all re-uploaded and caught up. But man, what a struggle that has been. So that's something I've wanted to share with you guys for a while, but I just haven't, set up the camera or made the video to do it. It's just been pretty defeating, honestly. It sucks. It's frustrating. But it is what it is, You can only control your actions and your attitude, right? So just trying to make the best of it, and I'm trying to look at it like maybe it's a sign to just diversify, find other ways around, luckily I do have Discord. If you're not in there, you can subscribe to Discord down below, completely free. Always will be. Would love to have you guys there. But I am glad I started building that community, at least, just in case something ever happened, God forbid, to this channel. At least I do have you guys in Discord. So shout out to everyone in Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. Lots of different stuff to talk about in there too. But it's just a cool place to hang out and talk stocks or whatever. But yeah, I think that's about the end of my rant. Let's set some alerts on SPY. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the support. And sorry for the lack of consistent videos, but that is what I've been struggling with and dealing with. It sucks once you're finally able to make just not even a lot of money. I'm talking $5 to $20 on a video, to have that just taken away before you even get to it after years. But anyways, rant over. Let's set these alerts. Thanks for bearing with me. We're going to set these alerts, and then we'll move on over to Kick for my first live stream over there. Again, I have 0 followers. A little awkward, but hey, it is what it is. Got to start somewhere. Hopefully this can motivate one of you guys. I know a lot of people tell me they've always thought about starting a channel, or they have a channel but haven't started, or whatever. You just got to go. It's like exercise, You could sit on the couch every day and be like, man, I really should get in shape. Or you could just go work out, or even just do 20 push-ups. Whatever it is. If you don't work out, 20 push-ups you'll be feeling that the next day. So just start small and keep on moving. So that's what we're doing here on YouTube, on Kick. We're going to keep on keeping on. We're going to stay classy, San Diego. And we're going to set these alerts. So I put 627, 628.09. We'll see. Those might be a little bit tight, honestly. Because who knows what will happen in the after hours. And I don't know why that's... Seems like an odd place for that to be. Oh, it's probably just because of the time frame. I'll just put it about right here. How about that? What's up, Gabriel? Just want to make sure I see everyone here. I appreciate all you guys coming in here, man. It's so awkward coming into a live stream after taking a break. My heart was like racing. I didn't check the heart rate, but I guarantee it was probably like 100 or something just sitting here, which is ridiculous. All right, so what I'm doing, I'm going to zoom out to the 15, and I'm going to set these alerts accordingly just in case we have some movement over the weekend. I don't want the alerts to be irrelevant. That's very annoying. So I'm going to move them down here. I'm going to move this one down to about 625.80. Jeez, 525.80. And then I'll move this one up, I guess, to the all-time high right above it, 629.50. We shall see. We might gap up though, or maybe we'll sell off. Who knows what will happen over the weekend? But that is the analysis. Now, if you look again on the daily, if you're just tuning in, here's my analysis moving forward. Just watch that continuation. I could expect us to be hitting 650. Let's see. I could see us hitting 650 in the next few weeks, but we could also pull back and bounce off 600. So always have a plan for both directions, because fortunately we can make money either way. That's the beautiful thing about the market. Doesn't matter if it's going up or down. Just have a plan for both ways, because you never know. Once that support breaks, all right, time for plan B. Let's grab the puts, whatever it might be. Have a plan before you get in and out of every trade, and make sure you listen to yourself. Build up that willpower. The more times you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to cut losses here, and you don't, the harder it's going to be to trade. And after a while, you're going to be too scared to even pull the trigger and take a trade. So please learn from my mistakes. And yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. I'm going to wrap up this stream for the day. This is the first of many. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I'm going to move over to Kick for adult time. We'll see how that goes. I honestly don't even know what the rules are over there, but I see a lot of people doing a lot of stuff. So we're going to get wild with it. We're going to keep it casual, and happy Friday again. Thank you guys all so much for the support. Hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you in a couple days or in a couple minutes.